Hello and welcome to today's Stocks and Crypto TA Charts live stream with me, No FOMO Charts. Today is December 4, 2022. It's about 8:40 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here, Sunday night here in the USA. We're going to do a little bit of a shorter stream today. We're going to start with stocks, go to crypto. If we have time, we'll do a little bit of Forex at the end. But the stock market continues. If there is an issue with the audio, sound, or the video on the live stream for any of the three platforms, just let me know, please, right away in the live stream chat box or on the comments after the video is over. So welcome, everyone. Hello. Let's go ahead and get started here. With the Dow Jones. So DIA still in the massive uptrend coming off of basically earnings, this double bottom. So still we had the ascending triangle on that 1 hour and a little bit of a breakout and retest. So to draw this, we hit all of our bullish targets, broke the resistance. Now this yellow box is now a support level underneath. There is a bit of a candlestick trend line on the bottom, so uptrending on the daily in the short term for the past 30 days. So why did this happen? One of the reasons could be the 50-point base interest rate decrease that's supposed to happen. The FOMC, it's still an increase, but the number is lower than 75 basis points. So it's 50-point increase happening possibly in 9 days from now, December 13 and 14. Something to look out for. Still in the uptrend here on the shorter term Dow Jones. There is a little bit of a hanging man candle. So I'm still watching out for this caution here, right? Because at some point we might get at least one pullback down maybe to 335 or 330. However, if the market goes in full bull mode, our resistances above are still 350 and 361. So as long as I'm not seeing some bad shooting star candle or something like that on the charts, we're okay. The daily, we have daily golden crossed. So now all of our supports underneath are 340, 336, 332, 326, and 322 as well. Let's take a look at our oscillators here. The bearish momentum is starting to form, but we have not got to the significant pullback yet. So 337 is our real support in the sand down here. Just something to watch out for. In the shorter term, we're in a little bit of an equilibrium triangle here right now. So the immediate volatility could be about plus or minus 3%. 3% to the upside, that would be a very bullish. 354, 3% to the downside target would be about 333. Okay, let's move on to S&P 500. Let's look at S&P 500. So S&P 500 still in the short-term daily uptrend, right? The longer term for this whole 2022 is definitely in the downtrend, right? Still in the downtrend. What I'm concerned about is we're right at this resistance spot, the fourth time here at 410, right here at 410. So just want to watch out for that. We also have the support level underneath. Here, right? Still in this shorter term uptrend since October 14, basically 1.5 months, right? Our support level could be possibly 402. And the upside target, we already broke through this, immediate resistance of 409 and 417 and 427 in these respective lines as well. 395 could be a support level as well. In terms of weekly, not seeing any bearish extreme candle yet. That's why we're still, it's holding above the 50 EMA on the weekly, which is good, the price candle. So basically, we're still in the uptrend here on this weekly. It's really dependent upon the FOMC and what they're going to do with their policy changes in the coming 2 weeks. Also, it's the end of the year. It's been pretty quiet on social media, a little bit less quiet, but you never know. Anything's possible. On the day chart, we do not have EMA upcross yet on the daily. The 4 hour is still upcrossed on the EMAs, uptrending right now. So something bullish to look out for. But in terms of the trend lines, we're still in that steep rising wedge angle. So I want to caution people, the short-term FOMO would be potentially, for example, buying at the top of the channel and then trying to hold a short stop and then getting stopped out immediately in the post-market or in the next day. So, or in the next week or so. That's what I'm trying to caution people not to do. This is just educational example, right? Because if I'm a trader and I keep buying long tops and I have a really tight stop loss and I keep getting stopped out, for example, on every single trade, that's not good. So then it's prudent to try to buy support levels. So where is the next potential support level? Somewhere around 397, 395, 397. I'll mark it down here in the blue line zone for somebody educational wise. So still in the uptrend, we're okay on the daily. It's not quite overbought or anything. It's just starting to lose momentum a little bit on the MACD histogram, but the news is so strong right now that it's keeping us in this uptrend. Okay, let's move on to QQQ. We always do our majors first. Always do our majors first to understand what's going on in the market. So NASDAQ, QQQ. In the shorter term, hourly and 4 hour uptrend, right? Hit this higher low. It's beautiful, $261. Now bouncing off support right at 281. Bouncing off support right at 281. There's a little bit of evening star on this and this daily candle. That's something to be concerned about. Is the news extremely bearish? It's not right now. You can also see that in the weekly. There's nothing extreme bearish. We don't have like a bearish inside bar or a bearish engulfing candle. It's not happening yet. So we're just holding support. Where's our level? 278. 278 is our level in the sand. And we draw a trend line as well here. And a resistance trend line on the top side. We can see we have not had a significant pullback yet. So probably that will happen after the market gets really overextended. The 4 hours EMA is still uptrending. So that's our basically support level. Again, that 280 level. The immediate is 289. Our resistance 295 and the 300 psychological. It is uptrending. It almost looks like a very, very dirty upside down head and shoulders on this left side. We're testing that support line. So we could be launching off of that for a couple of weeks. Or even if it's a couple months, if it's extremely good. But 10% to the upside would be 313. Conversely, 10% to the downside, if you have a major crash, would take us to all-time lows for this year, 251 on the NASDAQ. Just want to watch out for that on the swing trading. Again, there are oversold setups. Sometimes it happens in the pre-market or post-market or the next morning. So just something to watch out for there. All right, we had some news coming out this week about OPEC, G7, Russia oil price, as well as China manufacturing orders down negative 40%. If you're in my Discord, I released those news and the watch list as well for earnings volatility and economic data and just some news that's going to affect the stocks and crypto market. Take a look at oil, natural gas, gold, and silver as well. Look at US oil here. So again, we're still stuck in the longer term on this daily going sideways. One moment, please. Still going sideways here, but it bounced off the support level of 65, going to $72. So my eyes, it's just really going sideways right now. There's not much of a trend. It's going sideways. There's a little bit of momentum building on this daily. Want to watch out. Cleanly look at the price. There was a clear double bottom at $65. On the weekly, the MACD is starting to potentially form this higher low. So over the weekend with the news, this might be slightly delayed data. Possibly delayed data on this USO. So this is not the exact data. Might have to switch over to futures chart for a second. Okay, a little bit of a tiny bullish reaction. Delayed. But hopefully we can hit the resistance here if you're a bull, $73 or 77 on the upside. The gap support fill is $69.72 or $68. Just want to see a real trend develop, because if it's going to go up, that would be nice. Hopefully we break out of here. But if not, it's going to continue to be in this large consolidation range between 7 to 14%. Natural gas next. Natural gas, okay. After this large run up and hitting our bullish targets up here, right? Hit that top of that wedge. So like I keep telling people, is sometimes the breakout is not real. This was a fake out breakout, meaning this one particular candle, not good. Also related to G7 OPEC, and then just having short momentum as well, technically, right? We're on a support level right here above $18. I did call that back here in October at the end here, saying that this could be a potential support level for any longs, and there is up to potential in this just educational review trade. There's that potential 25 to 30% profit with the downside risk of about 10%. So that is swing trading in a nutshell. Now it's crashed back down, so very swiftly on news and fundamentals and technicals as well. But this is still our line in the sand, this $18, $18.28, maybe even going down to $17.25 area. Look at the weekly as well. Not the prettiest chart. This MACD momentum is building, but the death cross on the shorter term EMAs. The 4 hour still in the downtrend. Just had that overbought up here above 75 RSI reaction. Now it's getting down here. Not quite under 30, not quite under 30. So I believe there could be more downside for natural gas. The hourly starting to bottom out a little bit, but we need to see that reaction. We can see a little bit of selling, even if it's for 5 or 10 minutes or 30 minutes in the morning, and then before we get another bullish reaction just for the trading. But in terms of trend, this is basically short-term downtrend, still basically going sideways. Next, we have gold, GLD. So gold here, again, I did point out this educational setup here several weeks ago, or maybe even last week, is that we're having the support line right above this 150 area. 150 was tested multiple times and breakout following the Dow Jones rally and earnings. So 10%, nice profit there. Now the price, potentially, it was looking like there's a double triple bottom here with MACD histogram momentum. I'm curious to know if we might get actually a pullback just for the sake of technicals and the algorithms to confirm our weekly upside down head and shoulders. That may or may not happen depending on fundamentals and the news, but that could be 10%, 8 to 10%. If that's 8% breakout, somewhere approximately 178 area, right? The support 162 and then 152. There's this nice MACD momentum that's building. It's open right now in the weekly, trying to seek out the higher high. But once it pushes, you get that natural gas like bounce up, then it might pull back to find support at the 50 EMA. So right here, kind of look at this rising wedge, excuse me. Kind of look at this rising wedge again. It's riding up that wedge to the upside, right, with momentum. So it's not quite super overbought of here. So that I might be looking at maybe a little bit attempt at continuation 170. If not, it's going to fold over and probably find support at some point in the 163 area, if unless there's bullish news. So silver, the comparison with silver here, right? In terms of if we're doing GLD and SLV ETFs, well, someone was asking me a question about the difference, the comparison. So silver from the bottom of October 14th to now went up 29%, whereas the GLD from the bottom of the move in October till now is up 10%. So silver is much more volatile. It's actually cheaper by about 8 times cheaper. So SOV is a very tradable ticker name because we had support here as well. right? So I called that out multiple times. There's a support channel here, and if you watch the stream, I called this out multiple times for anyone interested. For the past 1.5 months, or it was probably in late October to early November where I was pointing this out. Just educationally, 1650. The resistance was $19. We broke out of that, finding our support levels here about $19 and seeking out our higher high. Now it's still in the down. It's still in a long-term downtrend, right? If we zoom out from 2021 to now, but it's appears significantly inside. And so there was this upside down head and shoulders pattern, which was tested to the neckline, 11%. So we basically hit that first target. So some traders were probably starting their stop loss or trailing stop basically now, following until now. If it goes an additional 11%, that could go about $24. Upside target. Hello, welcome to the stream on TradingView, YouTube, and Twitch. So it's 4-hour uptrending right now, and you want to see possibly that next level could be about $23, just above or below $23, to see this 4-hour uptrend, and then maybe we'll find support at here at $20. So it is in the overbought range. It is uptrending. So, you know, if I just randomly bought right now, this is education only, there's a gap fill here at 2050. So probably want to put a stop loss of about something like this, 2 to 1, something like that. But if, you know, I would not be surprised if this trade actually stops out in the future, because it's already up that plus 25, 30% right now. So let's move on to crypto. We're about halfway in the stream right now. Let me reset my timer here. And we'll go to crypto. I'm trying to do this shorter term format so people can get it in nice, shorter chunks of time. So we're looking at TOTL. TOTL, crypto total market cap. Now there is some news coming out in terms of FTX, that crypto exchange, what happened with the fallout, the bankruptcy, the legal proceedings, and the interview with the CEO, ex-CEO of FTX crypto exchange, BlockFi crypto exchange, also having bankruptcy problems, liquidity problems as well. The only maybe good thing about this week for crypto in terms of news is there's the Future of Crypto conference in New York City on Wednesday, December 7th. So we're probably going to have a lot of big people speaking at that conference. And so if you're into crypto, I might want to just check that out, or afterwards, what the major news and the soundbite quotes are. So total TOTL, we're still downtrending here. Looks like we found a little bit of support and relief above the $729 billion range. Right here above $740 billion. Now 863 billion and a 1 trillion. So these are the three. We could also have one at 1.16. There's a secret hidden one down here at 675. Just get that in there because it's crypto. Just never know. 600 billion, just put that in there. So these are the support levels that we're watching, that I'm watching. The daily, yes, we hit this oversold region right at 24 with a little bit of daily momentum. That's why we're bouncing. This could be potentially a little bit of upside down head and shoulders action. If it is, it's not perfect textbook, but if it is, here 6.5% should be the breakout spot. 846 billion is our first target here. The second target, about 13% on the way up. So 900 billion, that would be our second bullish target. And the super bullish target would be up here at this 200 EMA zone, about 1.03 trillion. So it's kind of looks like S&P, QQQ a little bit. It's a little bit correlated here. See if we could get the uptrend continuation. The weekly, however, we did find this a little bit of, like I said, we could see one more drop. I think I said this about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. We could get the evening star, watch out for the crash. And then once we have this kind of bottoming out, then there could be a potential for a little bounce. So that's coming into action right now. Finally on the charts. Just had to be a little bit patient for that to happen. We have a trend line down here. Rising wedge pattern. So can we hit this higher high of 831 billion on the crypto market cap and beyond with a little bit of 4-hour MACD bullish momentum? The hourly is getting a little bit pulled to the overbought range. So if somebody's a day trader, just want to watch out for the initial pump up and then the pullback down. And that would be the second entry point somewhere near support. So let's look at Bitcoin. Let's move on to Bitcoin. BTC USD on Bitstamp. Start off on the day chart. So still in the downtrend, this trend line angling steep, this trend line angling very steep, but it could be interpreted as a potential breakout support play of the trend line, meaning we broke down below, we were consolidating sideways on an intraday flag, and then we're trying to bounce above there. So if we use Fibonacci, someone last week was saying volume profile as well on TradingView chat. One of the benefits of having a Pro Plus, or premium account is you get the volume profile indicator, which if I bring it up, for example, on a visible range for 2021 to 2022, we can find some, I like to do at least the pandemic in here. That changes things significantly. But you can see there's not much liquidity or support. There is a little bit of support at 15.7K, a little bit at 13K, but then the major level support down, which is our 0.88 retrace of $12,000 Bitcoin price. So that's our major. The resistance right above is this 18K. We're trying to hold above that, the price is. So if we could get a little bounce, that would be nice. The 1 hour is, again, starting to upcross. That's good, because after the FTX fallout and crash, the fact that we've been holding above 15,000 or 15.5K is good, in my opinion. It's good. 16,700 is our next support level. It's good. Why is it good? Because if it was a complete crash, then every day or every week or every month, we should be crashing down in price, but it's not. That's good. So it shows the crypto market can be resilient, and possibly this is a possibly upside down head and shoulders, just like TOTL, TAL, right? Except this time on Bitcoin, about 7% potential. So 7% take us back to 18K, 14%, which is a lot. You need probably some bullish news and momentum, 19,000, maybe even a pump up to 20K in a bullish scenario. So that might take a month to play out. Why? Because the FOMC meeting is coming up on December 13 and 14. And the reaction to that, whoever is not on top of that right now, when he even hinted, the FOMC chairman on Friday saying that probably 50 basis point interest rate increase on December 13th, 14th news. So the market obviously priced that in for the past month, but then finally you might see the news pump that news and react to it on those 2 days. That might have some sympathetic effect on Bitcoin. But the fact that Bitcoin is not crashing every single day, even though the FTX news is kind of mentally not positive, it's kind of negative news. But you want to watch out, though. I'm not saying we're going to moon right now, but you want to watch out, because when does the price usually reject in this past almost 1 year? Whenever we hit one of these lines, right, as our ceiling, right? So if we hit this 1226 EMA rejection, hit the 200 EMA rejection, hit the 50 EMA rejection, hit the 100 EMA rejection. So once the price gets up, if we rally short term, I'm expecting we might get that where the price will rally and then fizzle out. And then that's where the bulls need to determine, okay, are we going to buy, and try to hold the market up or not? If not, it's going to be business as usual. One of these times is going to be the real one where it actually goes up. One of these times. But if it's business as usual, whenever we get it overextended to the upside, it just crashes back down. So just watch out for that. Ethereum USD, I'm going to go a little faster on the altcoins. But Ethereum USD holding its support above $1,058, trying to short-term uptrend here in the short-term EMAs. The resistance immediate 1352, 1505, and 1693. If we Fibonacci this from the pandemic low to the pandemic high, we are holding above the 786 level. And if I draw in a triangle here, this is essentially the symmetrical triangle formation that Ethereum is stuck inside right now, with a large volatility investment range of 86% to possibly 30%. So about 100 and 60. Okay. So just want to kind of watch out for that. In the weekly, it is holding this higher low above 1077. So that's what I'm saying. We might finally get the weekly bullish momentum going on here. And if we have this big breakout, bulls are going to be very, very happy. Possibly 2,000 to 3,000 Ethereum on the table. The 1 hour needs to up cross. Hopefully, right? 1 hour needs to up cross. Beautiful. We need to break above 1,300. Wonderful. Right? The support levels, what am I talking about? I'm talking about 1230. I'm talking about 1158. I'm talking about 1082. Okay. So we'll do a couple more and then we'll do a request. I see a request here from Casey on TradingView. And I answered a question from Steve on TradingView as well earlier about gold and silver. So if you have a last minute request, I'll do one request or two requests or three, and then we'll one request per person, and then we'll close out the stream. But BNB seems to be going sideways right now. Now I'm on Binance Coin. BNB, again, not the prettiest chart right now. 259 support, 316 resistance, 367 resistance, and then we have about 237 support, 216 support. If I don't even draw those, I like to use Fibonacci sometimes to just get quick levels from our pandemic low to pandemic high, and it's usually accurate. Right, we have a secret support here. The lowest it was 187, and if we draw this triangle right here, if I try to box it in, there's that pivot point there. A little bit of a rising wedge pattern, a little bit of a rising wedge or potential ascending triangle, but I'm hesitant to call it an ascending triangle because people get too excited about that. It does make sense. However, we had one breakout attempt, which is total fail above here. That's why I don't personally chase breakouts. This is an easy support play, although there's a lot of fear in the market at 250. So if this is a real ascending triangle and the volatility range is about 45%, if we get 45% for the breakout, then Binance Coin is going back to $500. If we have the inverse of that, the breakdown would take us straight down to the 786 of 145. So there's quite a bit of a volatility range with certain spots along the way of support and resistance. But it looks interesting that the fact that Binance, the exchange itself, is holding up with their, and what CoinMarketCap is doing with the reserve data, with the finances of the crypto exchanges, and the fact that it didn't 100% crash down to oblivion in terms of the price is good for this chart. It's good for this chart. So let's take a quick glance at the cryptos. The remaining altcoins, there's hundreds of them. I don't really go through all of them on stream, but visually we could just take a look here. Visually just at the price and just see if we can glean any information at a quick glance before we do requests. So Dogecoin seeking out its higher high if it's possible right now. Cardano, again, Cardano's interesting. It didn't really have much action. So when Cardano goes to a nice rally, it could be very nice. So if this happens to just randomly be possibly the low spot for Cardano, just visually, that would be a good, nice bounce. Potentially. Matic holding its higher low. DOT, just like Cardano, kind of, it's not quite super oversold. The 4 hour on this Litecoin. Somebody just asked me about Litecoin last week. So Litecoin, as of last week, had a nice continuation rally, but the fact that it held above $50, that's significant. Also, I call that symmetrical triangle like a month ago. So 30% to the upside, and it already hit that target. SHIB holding the bottom trend line here. So this is interesting. This could be a potential bounce spot for Shiba Inu coin, even though there's not much going on in the crypto space right now. Potential upside down, head and shoulders on this daily, with the volatility of, we could just call it 10%, with the first target being about 25%, second target being 50% on Shiba Inu. If this holds above 823, and we need to not go below, but it looks like a little bit, the sentiment, hopefully this is not a fake out, right? If this is an upside down head and shoulders, that's beautiful, and we could get a nice 50% to 30% bounce. Also, the 50% is the actual stop loss, 1.5. Also, on breaking news right now, because it's nighttime in my country right now, in USA, is the news is all about Asia and China right now. The Hong Kong and some of these China and some of these Asian exchanges are rallying right now. So that could just be the sympathetic crypto rally that's following right now. Thank you for the follow. So Solana as well here. Again, it hit our support level, but it stopped dropping. So, okay, is this going to be the upside down inverse head and shoulders area, right? Another potential 30% play here with about 15%. So this is a very, very almost investment style long term. This is not scalping. 15% is ridiculous stop loss for scalping. It's not good to do that, right? But for swing trading or investing, it's interesting to maybe take a little bite. If you're a bull, maybe I might buy some myself. I'm not saying you have to. This is not financial advice, but I might just to see, okay, is this real? Is it because sometimes you get lucky and you just accidentally buy the bottom, right? After a huge crash, sometimes that is the bottom. Sometimes it's not. So you just have to watch how the price develops, because if it bounces, okay, you might get that one trade, and then two scenarios can happen. It could keep downtrending next year. Okay. Scenario number one. Number two is we hit a higher low and then we actually uptrend into Christmas rally or something like that. So those two scenarios could happen. All right, just quicker visual here. UNI, USDT holding a higher low, tracking Ethereum, AVAX potentially bottoming. But it could crash, right? Chainlink holding above 573, that's good. So now Chainlink is going sideways. Cosmos holding the higher low. Ethereum Classic trying to hold its higher low. Stellar trying to bounce off that oversold bottom range. But the real answer is Bitcoin needs to go up. It needs to rally first, and most likely altcoins will follow unless there's breaking news on one of these altcoins itself, right? If we just go down the list, I'm not going to do all 200 coins. Chile is interesting. Chile's with a very strong potential upside down head and shoulders pattern. Not the most great crypto, but if it goes 175%, very low liquidity coin, but if it goes, it goes. So, but this is very, very steep up here. This is like hundreds of percent, but then this is very ridiculous investment stop loss, but meaning very, very small amount of capital. This is not an all-in educational play, but if that's a real upside down head and shoulders, it would be interesting to see if that actually goes at the full 300%. EOS, double bottom. This is interesting on EOS, potentially a double bottom here. If that's true, the first target is 178, long-term target, and then a full breakout extension of that to 350. So if that happens, I'm talking about a year, 6 months to a year from now. So if this is the bottom of the crypto market, if it just happens to be, this could be a beautiful entry spot. But we want to watch out because of all the bankruptcy and all the fear in the market. My question is there more fear? Is there more selling? And are there going to be more bad events that might happen in the future that would make this fail? Because we already tried to rally back in June and then it failed. So it could happen again. So we could actually have an equally downside retracement as well. But if it happens to be the bottom of the market, this would be a very interesting time to pick up some crypto. On the flip side in stocks, though, we already had the rally. So if we pull back in stocks as well, there could be a spillover effect relative to the crypto market. So I'm just saying, if you look at this in isolation, which we probably should not do, it is relatively low price. Right? That's why I start with stocks on the stream, because I know stocks already went up for Dow Jones for about 1.5 months. Crypto has not. So sometimes crypto is correlated, sometimes crypto is not. All right, so hopefully somebody learned something on the educational setup right there. Let me go back to Doge one more time because of what's going on with Elon Musk and his tweets. Had this double bottom here at 73 cents, trying to rally up to the upside here. The hourly is not quite overextended. Hourly is in the uptrend. So again, the 4-hour can maintain its uptrend. You might get one of these 100% rallies on one of these small altcoins. Thank you so much. All right, here we go. Let's go to Billy. We have a request from Casey here. If you have a request, just let me know. I'm going to maybe do 1 or 2 requests and then sign off on the stream. I think we went over a lot today. So Billy, This is a Chinese company. I want to watch out. I always caution people on what's happening on Chinese companies because if I'm in the USA, I don't really have any idea of what's going on in China because it's a different country, different government, different rules, different regulations, different stock exchange. So you always want to watch out because some Chinese companies that I've seen on the meme stocks or Reddit actually went bankrupt in the past 2 years or they got delisted. So I want to be very careful with foreign stocks. That being said, it just had its earnings on November 29th. Okay, so Casey's asking long potential entry. Let's type it in. This educational example based on what his entry is. His entry is 2006. Stop loss of 1680. And a price target of 25.95. Okay, so I do want to caution here, again, not pointing out any one person, but the risk reward ratio of this tool, I usually go for minimum 1.5 to 2, minimum 2 RR trades, right? This is kind of, so I understand, right? The stop loss right here, basically at the low of the gap fill. If someone wanted real consistent 2 risk to reward plays, the target would be about 33%. But I understand that somewhere in this range up here, because of at least 1.5 to 2, it was 1.88, because that's the resistance of the left. The only problem is again, if this is the uptrend scenario, then it should be okay. However, we must understand that we did bottom out in the stock market for the tradable bottom way back here on the bottom of October. So it's potentially, if it does not break out, you could actually get stopped out on this thing. Okay, so just want to watch out for that. This is in the NASDAQ, so I also want to check QQQ once more time. So I understand that on a weekly chart, it hit the oversold level, great, but that was back here in October. It has rallied 150% already, but this is the no FOMO mentality. It depends on somebody's swing trading and their time horizon. If you're holding for a very long time, it might be okay. If you're holding for a swing trade or day trade, might be cutting a little bit close because, again, the market needs to rally or this company needs to have very, very good specific news to continue the uptrend because it's already in this overbought region. To me, if I'm only looking at technicals, $85, right? I mean, excuse me, 85 RSI. Way down here, not $85. 85 on the RSI. We already have a little bit of a double top here, losing a little bit of momentum on the 1 hour here. So I would caution, be a little bit careful on this one. There's a little DOGE in this post market, but who knows? Because of what's going on with China, with the rally, it might rally tomorrow or for a couple of days. But if there's no bullish news and the market loses steam, it is in the uptrend right now. It might pull back and then continue up, right? Because if it's an uptrend, if we're looking here, high, low, it's in the high zone now, right? So if you buy at this exact spot, if it keeps going higher, great, then your trade is almost completed. But if it comes down, right, you actually might get stopped out. So to get even more information, we look, if you want to get really granular about it, the 5-minute 15 is not completely overbought. The 1 hour, 4 hour is in overbought range. The daily is not so much. So it really is up to the day traders is all I'm saying. Because right here on the 5-minute, if I look very closely, this thing, potential ascending triangle, right? You could get a little pop up and then a pull back down. So 3% up or down, right? But again, on Friday, if you were in the market on Friday, like that, or Thursday and Friday, basically almost every stock went up. So that's why I want to be careful on the entry, because even if the market is going up, if I buy here and let's just say it comes down, then I get stopped out, right? It was prudent if someone's going for real deep value. All right. Okay, that's going to do it for the stream today. Went way over time. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching and following and donating and supporting the stream. And I am streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, and Twitch. And we have a Discord group as well. And I hope you have a great week trading. And we always remember what time horizon we're on. If you're an investor, it's a different mentality than a swing trader versus a day trader. And this long position tool is your best friend as a trader, right? But if the market is going to the upside, want to be careful of shorting. Even my mentality is there's a certain turning point on charts, right? If it goes up like this, I'm probably not going to short in this unless I short a pullback. But right, if everyone's long biased, we're just trying to get buy low, sell high general on the education side. So I hope you have a nice week, and I will see you next Sunday night. Thank you, and bye-bye.